Okay, I think it worked. We are live. Hello, everyone. This is Russ and Kelly of Aquarimax here.
Hi, guys.
See, we're both wearing our Aquarimax shirts.
Mine's getting a little worse for wear. I need to get a new one.
It's an older shirt, but we're going to see some goldfish crackers in this stream. Didn't think of that.
Goldfish crackers.
Yeah, we talked about goldfish crackers in the last stream.
I see eat them.
We have Frank the Tank. We have Hare Wade. We have Vivid in Paleontology. We have, let's see who else is in here.
I have a question for Frank.
Okay.
So Frank the Tank, but it's D-U-G-H. Is that Gaelic or Irish by chance? Are you making a pun?
Or is it just like Frank the Tank, like that?
Like both?
Or both, maybe. Yeah. That would be interesting to know. All right. Well, let's go ahead and dig in a little bit. We welcomed the folks who are here, who so far, at least the people who have shown up in the chat. We're getting some other people popping in, so that's great. There's Joseph Tavir. There's Dave O. Dave O, first time here. Awesome. Welcome.
Hello.
So today, we're going to look at Aquarimax from the perspective of Kelly, who is an integral part of Aquarimax, but has a different role than I do. And so we're going to kind of talk about that. I see Tennyson's here as well. Great. Welcome, Tennyson. Could you just start out by telling us kind of the origin of Aquarimax Pets from your perspective?
Yeah, so origin story-wise, it was gradual, I feel like, because you've always had critters, and we've always had critters since we've been married.
Yeah.
And you'd sometimes just sell off stuff, but it wasn't like a business.
Mm-hmm.
When we lived in Hawaii, I feel like that I remember was kind of the first time you were selling stuff regularly.
Yeah.
I'm making the camera blink because I jiggle too
that's
much when I
half my
talk.
fault
Sorry.
too. It's okay.
But you were selling aquatic plants
out
of the tanks, and it was kind of like a process.
It was definitely a process.
Because Hawaii, understandably, has some strict import-export laws. And so if we were going to ship plants out, aquatic plants out, we had to take them. We couldn't just take them to the post office. You had to take them to the airport in Honolulu and have them go through the APHIS office there and check for, all the things that they check for and get it approved before we could mail it. Yeah. And so I remember driving, we're on the opposite side of the island. We were on Oahu. So it was like an hour to the airport and like trying to park at the airport and keep the kids entertained in the car in the airport where you would take the packages in and get it all done.
And then to the post office.
Trek. Yeah. But we did it together.
We did. And that's kind
of how Aquarimax came up, really, is all of it came about together. So
yeah, it's true. I just want to welcome Laura Taylor and Wayne Abides and Chet. They just came in too. So, so what was the next step?
When we moved back to the continental states from Hawaii back to Utah, it took us a little while to get kind of settled in to a place, but then we started selling stuff again. We started a podcast, and it was 2008 that we started the podcast. Yeah. And again, we did it together. It was specifically aquarium focused. It was just mostly fish, shrimp, that kind of thing. We had that podcast for 8 years. Yeah. And 300-ish?
Yeah, 330 plus
330
episodes.
Something episodes.
Yeah.
That was its own adventure. And then 2016-ish. We started the YouTube channel in 2011.
Yeah, but I didn't do
too much with it because we were doing the podcast. And then 2016, when we quit doing the podcast, we kind of transitioned over to YouTube. Yes. And Russ was saying, "Hey, let's do YouTube." And I said, "That sounds great. I don't want to be on camera every week. I don't want to do hair and makeup every week." And there was just a lot going on too, as far as things on our plates. So we decided it was my choice, really. It was never that Russ is like, hey, I'm going to go do this show without you now. It was my choice to not so much be on camera and just be doing stuff in the background. But it's gone really well.
Yeah, and you've always been doing things.
Always been doing things. Yeah.
Never stopped doing Aquarimax things.
I feel like all of the steps and all of the transitions that Aquarimax has gone through, we've decided on together and done together. And
yeah. I see that Tima's here.
Hello, Tima.
You know, I got to meet Tima in person at Clint's Reptile Room.
Oh,
that was fun.
Lovely. Laura asks, is the podcast still available to listen to? I think
it is. So. Yeah. If you go to aquarimax.com, it's there.
Are they all there?
They're all there.
They're all there. It was a long time ago. No promise.
The Pet Mobile Store is here. Hello.
Hello.
I think Pet Mobile Store, that might be new viewer here.
Lovely.
Let's see. Frank to Tank, January 16, 2011, 12,236,711 views. Not bad.
That's a fun number.
Yeah. I don't know what this is. Some weird thing. There's Laura Philippi.
Hello.
Great. Okay. So what are the things you do? How has your roles how have your roles shifted?
Like I said, we were co-hosting the podcast at first, and I've always been finances because it's just your words. I'm better.
She's way better at finances than I am. So that's.
But when you started doing YouTube too, then the streams of income kind of diversified. So you had, Patreon and affiliate links and your
YouTube,
isopods.
Selling livestock.
Various stuff. So they took more time. So I've spent more time on like finance, and I do the taxes and that kind of thing.
When our children can't bring stuff to the post office,
I've done a lot of taking orders to the post office. I'm sure if any of you have bought anything from Aquarimax in the past, I'm sure I've delivered at least some of your packages. Well, not delivered, but shipped at least some of your packages.
I pack along with one of our kids, and then one of our kids usually takes them to the post office, but that doesn't always work out.
Yeah. I like Kelly Laura's comment. I'm a no makeup, no fuss, no muss kind of girl too. Yes, I don't have time.
Oh, Bree says hi as well.
Bree,
our son.
Bree.
Yeah, our son and daughter-in-law are watching right now.
Yay.
Vivid and Paleontology Evolved. That's my son's YouTube channel. So
yeah, sometimes it's the Vividin, and sometimes we call him Vivid Dad.
So Yukon is here as well. Welcome.
Hello. Never accidentally pack your kids. Fortunately, they don't fit in the priority mailboxes.
That's
true.
We
haven't
have
ever accidentally shipped a kid.
Standard boxes that none of the kids would fit in.
Even when they were babies, I don't think they would fit. Bless you.
Sorry. I realized two things. One, that I was about to sneeze, and the other that the microphone was covered with a bag to keep the dust out.
Maybe this is better. Maybe you can hear us better now.
Maybe you can hear us better. Nobody complained about sound, but hopefully that's better. I wanted to say, too, that in addition to that, you will, of course, also have accompanied me to many an expo and critter presentation, and not just accompanied me, but participated fully in that.
Well, have me. Sometimes I take the critters around. Sometimes I do part of the presentation. We switch off.
Yeah. So, she knows her stuff.
I don't really. I don't know his stuff. He knows his stuff. I know a few stuffs.
Yeah, we are having a technical difficulty that's causing these flashes. And we think it's a cord. Whenever we wiggle, it's doing that. And we're trying not to rock the boat too much.
I'm not very good at holding still.
But we're not actually on a boat. So that's part of the problem too. But if we say really still, then that helps. I see that Paul Large Marge Morphs is here too, as well.
Lovely.
I hope I'm not missing anybody. Once was lost is here as well. Yeah.
I'm glad you're found now.
Yeah. 1982. I hope that was the last time you were lost. Oh, you're giving away secrets now. Okay. And also, of course, we do things as a partnership. So, when I decided to branch out and not just do aquarium stuff, but also do like vivarium stuff, isopods, for example, reptiles, that kind of thing, that wasn't just me deciding. That was me conferring with Kelly, and she was encouraging me to do that. And so that helps.
Idea bouncer offer.
Yeah, we do that for each other.
We talk about all of the things. Yeah.
Yeah. So Yukon is asking, do you know about the Cubaris crabby isopods? You may have left a comment about that the other day. I think I responded, but I have never kept that species, but I would be happy to look for someone who has kept them successfully long-term. And if that person would be interested in being interviewed, I'd love to do that, because that is, for the isopod species I don't keep, I really like to find someone who has had extensive success with them so that I can pick their brain. I've done that with Invertebrate Dude several times with isopod species that I haven't kept. And so we could find out if he's kept them, but there might be others too that have kept them, and we could do that. That would be cool.
It's a good idea.
Yeah. So what was it like being a co-host of our podcast, over 300 episodes? What do you think?
It was a ride. So the funny part really was when we did the podcast, Russ was obviously the one with the information and the answers to people's questions and the knowledge. And so kind of on accident, he became the straight man and I was the comic relief, which was a total reversal from our roles in real life. So it'd be really funny because he was always the one, in every other aspect of our life, cracking jokes and being goofy and silly and making people laugh. And then all of a sudden he was the one with all the answers. And so I was being goofy and silly on the, yes, Frank, Russ is secretly Kermit the Frog. Shh, don't tell. Did we tell them this story that other time that we were together on somebody's podcast about Kermit and you and me?
I don't know.
You guys want to hear a story?
You can tell them that story,
Okay.
but I want to welcome Yotaro is here. And let's see, who else just came in? Laura Philippi, I think I welcomed already. Comlini, or Comlin Ford. Tima's asking, I'd give milkweed seed pods to isopods. I would hesitate to do it. I'm not sure it's dangerous, but because milkweeds in general have so many toxins in them, I would hesitate to do that without diving a little deeper. Sometimes when plants dry out, some of their toxins are reduced or eliminated, but I would be concerned. So if you want to tell the story, go ahead.
Okay. So we hadn't started dating yet or anything. We just had kind of met a few times. And we were in the same apartment complex, basically. And so we were in somebody else's apartment. And I was leaving the apartment, and Russ, who does a really good Kermit the Frog voice, had Kermit on his hand.
A Kermit puppet.
A Kermit puppet, yeah. And what do you mean puppet? He's not a puppet. He's real. He had Kermit on his hand. And he made Kermit look me up and down and said, you do the voice. I can do the voice.
I'm not even ready, but I said something like, do you believe in interspecies dating?
And apparently I do, because I went out with him. So, yeah, Kermit was like how Russ first hit on me, really.
It worked. It worked. What
did Isaac say?
If you could each grow an invert to the size of a horse to use as a steed, assuming trainability and ignoring biomechanical issues, what would you pick?
Oh, maybe a mantis.
Mantis is a solid choice.
That would be awesome.
I'm going to go with velvet ant.
That would also be really good.
Desimutilid. A really fuzzy one. Maybe Desimutilla gloriosa. The white ones that you really like, cool. The white, really fluffy ones.
They'd be a really hyper ride. Yeah.
They'd be super fast and basically invincible.
Because you can squish them.
Because we're ignoring biomechanical issues, right? So, and if
you're on a mantis, you could fly too.
Some species. Not all
I'll pick species that can fly.
Pick a flying species. Yeah. Okay. A lot of species can fly.
Yes.
Okay. So.
Tiger beetles would be good too.
I love tiger beetles. And the jaws, holy cow. You would just be, and they're so fast.
Although, if we're talking ocean, if we're going fantasy, you're going to be ocean, you could do something like a nudibranch, like a Spanish dancer or something.
That would be
and
awesome.
That would be very flowy.
That's true. So Once Was Lost is asking about how long can you use magnolia pods? I mean, how long before you can use magnolia pods after they're pulled off a tree? Safe to give to the isopods. I haven't worked a lot with collecting magnolia pods. I have, of course, used them in my setups, but I'm not familiar with the process of collecting them and whether or not they're collected after they've fallen, which some are some plants you need to wait until it's fallen before you can use it really very well. Otherwise, there are toxins in it and so on. I don't know that about magnolias, I'm afraid, because I don't harvest them. Hair Wade, good question about the red springtails, encouraging growth for them. I have not worked with the red springtails at all, so I'm not sure. Aunt Sandy Skinks is here. Fantastic.
Hello.
The Predator says, could you keep papaya isopods in a 6x6x6 terrarium enclosure, like 6 inches or 6 feet? Either way, you could do it. But the papayas, 6x6x6 would be okay for a little while. I think you're talking about Cubaris Murina papaya. They'd be fine in there for a while. They're fairly robust breeders, and they would outgrow that after a while. But no, sure, you could do it for a few months.
To start out.
You could do it for a few months, yeah. Okay, great. All right, so where were we here?
Hosting the podcast.
Yeah, did we finish with that?
No, it was really fun. Since it went for so long, we had regulars, and they'd share little bits of their life with us. You guys would talk sometimes outside of the podcast too, about their projects and what's going on in their life, and it was kind of like having friends. It was fun. Way
we had people who would write in or call in and leave a message. The way we had
like
it
a voice message.
They'd call and leave a voice message, and we'd play it on the air and then respond to it, or that we would just read out the email and respond to it. And it was fun. We had people from various places in the world, from the UK, from Australia, from various places in the US. We had some from Italy. We just various.
They're kind of all over.
Things. It was fun.
It was good. And we'd get inside jokes.
Yeah.
Because it went for so long, like the surface area song, because the answer to everything is surface area, right? So we made this silly little song up about it. Don't go listen to it, because we sang it when we were very tired. And
I think I had laryngitis.
I think you did.
So it sounded horrible.
It was the wrong can and sound terrible. But
yeah.
But we made lyrics to, was it the model of a, I'm the very model of a modern major general, that one, except it was about surface area.
Pretty fun.
And so we'd sing the little surface area thing every time that happened.
Yeah.
Or the fact that I would fall asleep while we were recording if you ever started to talk about things like KH and GH and relative hardness and stuff, like, because we'd record it in the evening
after the kids went to bed.
And doing all the things all day, and then we were talking about chemistry, and I was out, so we had to be careful about what we talked about, or I'd fall asleep in the
So we would talk about, when we were talking about livestock stuff, it was better. That's not boring for you, so that was good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Frank has a question.
Okay.
What's my favorite show or movie? I cannot pick one, and if I tried to pick 5, I will give you 5, but I promise I will cheat and probably give you 6
more.
Yes. So this is part of my cheating, is that I count all of the MCU as one movie, and I count all of the Middle Earth, Lord of the Rings, Hobbit movies as one movie. So that's 2. Wonder Woman, the 2016 Wonder Woman, or 2017, whichever, the first Wonder Woman movie. The Barbie movie. The Unicorn Store, which is only available on Netflix and is absolutely gorgeous, and you should go watch it. And The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum.
All solid choices. I approve of all of them. I like all of those. Atypical Girl is here. Awesome.
Atypical Girl, not a typical girl.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I pronounced it. So 2 things. Once, I want to address Once Was Lost's question, talk about the tiny enclosures you sell on your website, little 4 or 5 inch boxes, the air holes drilled up top, how many pods can be set up in them. What I generally encourage is that I don't put large isopods in there. So something like a Porcellio ornatus or Porcellio hoffmannseggi, I would not recommend putting them in there at all. Too small. But if you have something like that gets no bigger than, say, Armadillidium gestroi or something, and anything smaller than that, you can set up, a starter culture, 10 to 12 to 15 of them in there for a while. And as soon as they start breeding and you get like 1 or 2 cohorts of offspring, move them on to something bigger. And that usually works really well for people. If they follow that and make sure that the moisture gradient is fine for the species you're working with, and you keep up on, general care, that seems to work really well, because by the time, say you put 12 zebras in there, and a few months later you have 1 batch of slightly grown zebras and 1 batch of no longer monkey, but something a little bigger, you have 30 or 50 isopods, maybe it's 2. And when they grow up, they're going to be too big for that container, but then you put them into a 6 quart and they're great. They're golden and good to go. So that's kind of how I look at that, and that seems to work really well for people. So
Mhm.
let's see.
We've got another question.
Yes. Tepechi says, this is the first live I've caught. Any food suggestions for Porcelia werneri? Mine only seem to like dried peas and minnows, and so far they haven't really taken anything else I've given. I find that they don't have a really strong food drive. They'll eat, but I like to give some of the powdered mixes, and they'll eat those. Supreme Isopod Chow is a good one. I've used several others too. I do give them dog food chunks, fish food, and they'll eat them. They're not super excited about eating like a lot of other isopods will just dive at the food and swarm it. They don't seem to do that, but they will eat it. They're just not as excited about it. Okay, so I want to do our lightning round, and then we'll get back to questions in the chat. Kasave has a question. We'll come back to that. I want to do our lightning round.
Okay, so, I don't know what these questions are. So
she has no idea what these are.
We'll see what comes out.
So for the lightning round, I'm going to ask you your favorite and least favorite animal in each of these taxa. Okay. Favorite and least favorite. Okay.
I'll try.
Insects.
That's so big. Depends on my mood.
Okay.
Either mantids or butterflies.
For your favorites.
For my favorites.
Okay, that's expected.
Least favorites, roaches.
Mm-hmm. Roaches are your least favorite, even less than houseflies and mosquitoes.
Yes.
Yes. So she's not joking about this. Roaches are like seriously on that list. Okay.
Roach PTSD.
Insects. Yeah. Because we lived
in Hawaii in a very old building with all of the apartments interconnected, and somebody else would spray their apartment and all of the roaches would flood into ours, and the lights would dim in the apartment because they would fill up the lamp. What do you call that thing that holds above the light bulb? You know what I'm talking about.
Like
it would fill up with roaches because they'd get scared out of the other apartment. One fell off the ceiling into my hair.
And then what happened?
I shook it out and I couldn't find any more, so I thought it was gone.
And how big was it?
It was like a big one. It was like they call them B-52s, like the bombers, like big, nasty, nasty thing. I thought it was gone. This is really gross. Small children, cover your ears. And then I had to go to the bathroom. So I went in the bathroom and I pulled my pants down. And guess what fell out of my pants? So anybody who's wondering, gee, why won't Kelly let Russ keep roaches?
Now you know the full story.
This is why. No roaches.
Now you know the full story. Okay.
We will have 27 tarantulas before we have a single roach.
She said it, 27 tarantulas.
We're never going to have 27 tarantulas either.
I know. She did let me have a tarantula.
You do have one. Yeah. So that rule loosened.
Yeah, that rule loosened. Okay. So, favorite and least favorite amphibian.
Okay, I feel like I need a list in front of my face or I'll forget about somebody. Favorite amphibian.
Let's just shoot from the hip here.
But there's so many of every kind.
I know.
Maybe tree frogs.
Tree frogs, just in general tree frogs, all the general tree frogs.
They're kind of innocuous looking.
Okay, there's so many tree frogs though.
Yeah, I know, that's the problem.
Oh yeah, okay, well that's
fair.
I
don't know, do I have a least favorite amphibian? Maybe the really extinct one that was like a ginormous. Well, except for
the earops.
The really giant extinct ones that were like giant salamanders that would eat you like crocodiles.
Okay.
Because I don't want death by salamander.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure which species you're talking about, but we'll go with that. Okay. Favorite and least favorite fish.
Oh, somebody says let him have some more. He has fuzzy spiders. We have plenty of jumping spiders. They're fuzzy. They count.
Okay. We do have jumping spiders.
We do have jumping spiders. Sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So besides, did you have a least favorite amphibian or?
You just told me. Yeah.
Okay. How about this? Favorite reptile?
No, can't.
Okay. Well, what reptile
you have
do
to
you
have
want?
like your favorite gecko and your favorite snake and
that's
reptile fair. That I want. I want my own super dwarf retic.
Okay, that's an awesome choice.
Yes.
Okay. So super dwarf retic, the reptile you want the most. What's a reptile you would never want?
Something really venomous. Anything really venomous.
Anything really venomous. Okay. Yeah. Well, we have a rule about that too. So.
We can have an alligator someday. I've said that before. That's not news.
They're illegal here in this
We
state,
live
unless you have a
someplace
permit
else.
for it. But
We could get a permit. We just get a facility.
yeah, maybe we can do that someday. Okay. Favorite marine fish.
So hard. Okay. I love leafy sea dragons. I'm not wearing that one right now because I'm wearing the Aquarimax one, but I have one of Jesse's t-shirts that has the
Shapes in Nature.
Yes, Shapes in Nature that has the leafy sea dragon on it. If you haven't seen them, they have stickers of it too. It's beautiful. They are fairy creatures. They're water fairies. I love them. Go look them up if you've never seen them.
Yeah, they're super cool. And Atypical Girl, you're right. At Clint's Reptile Room, I got to get to know Garrett a bit. We were team members and stuff. It was really fun to hang out with Garrett, and we talked super dwarf retics. And someday, when I do get one for Kelly, it's going to be from Garrett.
And I will wear it around the house.
Garrett's awesome.
Like a boa, even though it's not a boa.
It's not a boa, but they are related.
Yep. And I can answer the door with my big old snake around my shoulders, and then pest control people will leave us alone.
Okay, your favorite arachnid.
Oh, Yukon's leafy sea dragons are also their favorite. Yay. Okay, sorry, go ahead.
Favorite arachnid.
Jumping spiders.
Okay, any particular species?
Big, fuzzy, cute ones.
So it doesn't matter as long as they're big and fuzzy.
I like
and
them
cute.
round and fuzzy.
Okay, so like Phidippus regius, Phidippus
like
audax,
the domino
Phidippus
looking
ardens.
ones. I never remember the scientific names.
Okay, there's lots.
I think I would after all this time, but like the black ones with the white dots.
Yeah,
those are cute.
I think you're talking about Phidippus audax, probably.
Okay, but they wear water droplets as hats.
Okay, least favorite arachnid.
I'm gonna forget some of the things that count that I don't like.
Okay.
Okay. Other spiders. But I mean ticks. Gross.
Oh, ticks are my least favorite arachnid,
nasty.
hands
Maybe
down.
ticks.
Hands
Maybe ticks.
down.
There's
They're
nothing
the
good about
worst.
ticks.
I am not excited at all about ticks. They're like, yeah. They have a fascinating life history and all, but I just don't want to deal with them. Okay. So let's talk about a couple things. Since people know you love snakes, why don't we get Mr. Skeletal?
Oh, yes. Okay.
I would get him, but you're going to be able to reach
too
him
much.
more easily than because I'm pinned up against the wall over here. Her Wade, you had a chance to purchase a leafy sea dragon. Wow.
Did they get it?
Get what?
They had a chance to purchase it? Did they
didn't do it, though.
Dang.
That's so cool, though.
How did that come about?
Okay.
Where do we get one?
Frank the Tank wants to know if you'd rather get feasted upon by ticks or bed bugs.
Option C, none of the above.
If I had to choose, I'd choose bed bugs because I think ticks carry worse diseases.
Mm-hmm. But gross.
But let's take a look at
boy.
Mr. Skeletal. This is our corn snake. And
hi, everybody.
Kelly is a big fan of Mr. Skeletal, as we all are.
He's the sweetest boy.
And sometimes when we do presentations, Kelly is the one who takes him around for people to meet him.
He's being camera shy. He doesn't want to bring his face up.
He is a beautiful, beautiful guy.
He's a beautiful boy.
And we've had him for a good while now, since 2018 or something?
I think so.
That's when we got him.
Yeah, I think so.
He's a pretty guy.
Mm-hmm.
And so someday we're going to have a super dwarf retic.
Yes.
We love our snakes.
Mm-hmm.
He's so friendly.
He's
come
very
to say hi.
derpy.
He's come to say
He's
hi.
going to climb up the backdrop.
He probably is.
There's his face.
Okay, I don't want to lose. Everybody loves him, don't we all?
I know, because he's so
Yeah.
lovable. This is the snake that Russ and I take around when we do presentations, and people at the beginning who are afraid of snakes, by the end they come up, and we call him the ambassador snake because they come up and they hold him and they meet him and then they want their own
They
snake.
want their own snake.
He's helped
that's
so many
very
people
common.
get over their fear of snakes.
Yeah, it's really fun
He's
to
great.
see that. It's a beautiful thing. All right, so one of the things I want to ask you about I think that's enough lightning round questions for now.
Okay.
I had some others, but I'm not going to do them all. Okay, what are some of your most memorable, and this could be fun, it could be surprising, could be uncomfortable, Aquarimax experiences?
Okay. I mean, it's been
Thanks, Frank.
our whole life. So, it's Frank.
Frank's
going.
got to take out.
Bye, Frank.
Gotta leave.
Thanks. There's been so many. We were talking about one the other day where we were at an expo And I had not yet held the Tailless whip scorpions, and I was kind of tiptoeing my way towards getting used to them, but I hadn't held them yet. They can be a little bit intimidating looking if you're not used to them. And so, you know, we were talking to people. We weren't selling stuff at that one. It was mostly just like...
It was like a educational table. It was donated. The space was donated for educational purposes, and we were just there to do meet and greets and, you know, educate about the critters that we brought.
Let people hold some things, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so there were quite a few people at the table at one point, and Russ was like talking to this person, this person, this person, this person, and he turns around and he just hands me Myrtle, which was the
Tailless
whip scorpion.
I didn't mean to. I just was like, so much going on in my head, cognitive overload.
But there's all these people standing there around the table, you know, so I can't be like, I'm not ready to. So I'm like, oh, this is the Tailless whip scorpion. Here it is. La la la. Let me put it back in the table.
Can we show him?
Yeah, should I put?
Yeah, the Tailless whip scorpion is right there.
Him away?
Sure, if you want to.
You want them both out at the same time?
It won't hurt anything, but if
just
we can just put him back.
Oh, okay. He's got your glasses.
He's got my glass. He loves that. He does that every time. So yeah, somebody asked, Aunt Sandy was asking if corn snakes are calm.
He's got your wrist.
And I think Yotaro answered, yeah, I would agree with Yotaro. They tend to be really calm, not necessarily when they're hatchlings, because, you know, everything's scary when you're that little, but they calm down pretty fast, and he is an absolute joy to work with. He is super well behaved, and it's easy to understand his body language, and he's just a joy in our lives. Yotaro has a corn snake she said it's 22 and a half years old.
Wow.
She's had him since he was a baby. Okay.
I didn't take him out because Myrtle was pretty calm, and the ones we've had subsequently are a little bit less calm, I feel.
Myrtle we got when she was like a tiny little whippling, and I handled her a lot, her whole life. I mean, you know, not a lot of it, but throughout her life,
like that,
more often than I've handled this one. This one I got older.
It's a little skittish still.
And it's still a little skittish.
Woohoo, there it goes.
Landed on my pants.
I didn't take it out.
Yeah, landed on my pants.
You're the whip scorpion wrangler.
This one is definitely a little bit trickier to handle than Myrtle was. But we're going to show you, so arachnid warning if you're concerned about that. This is a Tailless whip scorpion. This is what I handed Kelly at an expo with little warning because I was experiencing cognitive overload from all the people around. And I don't remember what was going on except that I needed to hand her the Tailless whip scorpion for whatever reason. And that is what happened. But
then I was okay holding it after that the rest of the day. Like I took it out and held it again later that day. So it was okay. Baptism by Tailless whip scorpion.
Yep. And it turned out really well. And I was proud of her for doing that and not freaking out.
Good job,
and
me.
A little ashamed of myself for handing it to her like that because I don't tend to like to surprise people with that sort of thing. You know, I want them to have the best experience possible. But honestly, I was just overloaded. My brain was overloaded at the moment, so I can be.
But it was funny.
A little slack can be cut. Just for that, but I think that was fun. Okay, so that's one. I think.
Going to Sky Island Adventures together was really cool.
It was.
That was really neat.
So if any of you know Peter, Bugs in Cyberspace, Jesse from Shapes in Nature, Sky Island Adventures, they put that together a few years ago. And now Jesse's unfortunately had to move, but Peter's still doing his thing down in Arizona, and we got to visit. So you can tell a little bit about that.
Or just the whole thing. That was really cool. I think my favorite thing was actually seeing the coyote. They have a different kind. It's like a red wolf coyote cross.
Yeah, they have the coyotes have some red wolf blood in them apparently.
It was really pretty. Like normal coyotes, their colors are, I feel like, a little muted, and this one was like really vivid, and it had a black tail, and it was really pretty. Yeah. And in general, I think one of the things that I love the most, like results wise, from having done Aquarimax pretty much our whole marriage, is that all of our kids, who are now all adults, but they all grew up with it, and they all still have this sense of wonder and curiosity about the world around them, and they're excited when they find a critter instead of like, ew, gross, get it out of the house. We joke that our youngest has Disney princess powers because she doesn't ever want to get rid of any little life that's in the house. Like, it's a wasp, it's a housefly. There have been times when there was a housefly in the house and she went up to it and just held her finger out. And she's like, I'm going to help you, little friend. Get out of the house so you don't get swatted. And it walked onto her finger and she walked it outside, out the door, and let it go. So I didn't even want to get off her finger because it's like this. I mean, it's a housefly. Houseflies don't walk onto your finger. They run away from you. So I feel like they've all, I mean, Isaac, who's here, he's got his channel about extinct animals, but he loves live animals too.
Yeah. They've
all just kept this really lovely respect, I think, for life and for the world around them. And I think that's really valuable.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's well put. And congrats on your Margin immaculatus. Tennyson has some tailless whip scorpions, different species. This is Damon diadema. He has, is it Phrynis or Paraphrynis Margin immaculatus? I forget which one it is now. Anyway, they are a species native to places like Florida, and Tennyson recently bred his. So that's super cool. 19 babies.
Oh, congratulations.
I've been working on breeding mine, but as those of you who have seen the video know that I did get a brood sac, but the brood sac was aborted. So it didn't work that time. I hope it works in the future. Let's see. This background, yeah, I actually have two of these, one for filming downstairs and one I put up when we film up here on the computer.
It would be nice if it were real.
Well, I wish it were real. But yeah, it's just this, we got these wall hangings on Amazon or whatever.
It's nicer to look at than our kitchen table and the living room behind it. So
yeah, it is. It is. So theropod hunter, I've seen raft spiders. I've seen Dolomedes. There were some huge Dolomedes on the ranch my grandma used to live on in Texas. I don't know exactly which species of Dolomedes they were, but they were awesome. They were beautiful. So Aunt Sandy Skinks, 22. Those are your
babies.
Your
skinks,
baby
22 baby skinks.
Blue tongues.
Hey,
that's awesome.
That's exciting.
Okay.
Also, congratulations.
So, what do you enjoy most about when we do critter presentations and or expos together?
Okay, maybe this sounds kind of sappy, but I really like him. I have a big crush on him. I love watching you in your element. It's so fun for me to see you be excited about the thing and get other people excited about it and just share all this knowledge and experience that you have, and also still keep learning things and be excited to go see other people's things. It's like watching kids open Christmas presents.
I like that.
It's fun.
I love that. In fact, that's awesome.
Yeah. Plus, I don't know, we go to an expo and it's like we just get to hang out together all day.
Yeah, we do.
Get lunch.
It's pretty fun.
Critter date.
Yeah. We haven't done an expo in a little while with health issues and different things going on.
Timing hasn't quite worked out. Yeah.
But I think we're going to be doing that in not too long. Probably not this October, but maybe in the
spring one. Yeah.
Spring expo again. 70 babies, Yotaro. Holy cow. I must admit, when I hear people like Aunt Sandy or Yotaro talk about their critters breeding, and I just think, oh man, I want some of that. But okay, so there's something else I wanted to talk to you about, and this is okay. We're talking all about ways that Kelly is a crucial part of Aquarimax. All 100% true, but it's not the only thing she does, of course. She's got a lot of irons in the fire, and one of those irons is the her book. We're going to talk about her book. She just published a book.
Yay!
And I want to talk about it because I think it's awesome. And so tell us about your book.
Yeah, okay. Well, first of all, I'm going to say, like you said, we did all of Aquarimax together. That was everything. We talk about it together. Russ bounces ideas off of me. We consult about it all. And it's been the same with writing. I bounce ideas off of Russ all the time. He talks to me about plot and characters and lets me babble out loud and figure out how to fix things in the stories. And he's been an awesome cheerleader for my books and my writing. So it's another project that we've done together.
It is. We've been able to work on it together. So what do you want to tell me?
So book, yes. Okay. So the book is called Tanked.
Tell me to show them the cover.
Yes, show us the cover.
Boom! Check it out.
Ta-da!
That's the cover right there.
It is an adventure romance. If you guys have seen, I think I mentioned before, The Lost City with Sandra Bullock and Channing Tatum, or The Fall Guy with Emily Blunt and Ryan Gosling, it's those kind of vibes, but with superheroes. Where Tank, the main character, the male main character, is a total cinnamon roll. If you know what that means, it's like.
But he's a superhero. He's used to be a children's librarian, super shy, super awkward. And then he gets these powers of, super strength and invulnerable skin, and wants to try to help people with it. But he's not quite sure who he really is, and he has to figure out his real identity during the course of the book, and deal with, defeating the bad guys and falling in love. And there are other superheroes in the book and super villains. It's really cool.
Mm-hmm.
I love this book. I'm not the kind of guy who reads romance books. It's just, that's not my thing. I know it's some people's thing, and that's okay, but it is not my thing at all. But
not at all.
I love this book. It's so fun, and it appeals to me. I like adventures. I like superheroes and things like that. And I love it. It's a great book. So, and it's wide appeal.
Billing it as an adventure romance because you have to pick a genre to market to, but it's really it's more than just that genre. You've got environmental themes going on. You've got themes of identity, and the villains are kind of an eco-terrorist cult, sort of. And so you're dealing with, how they think we should solve the problem of the world versus how the other characters are trying to interact with nature. And this is how it fits into Aquarimax. There are bugs.
Yes, there are insects in the book that figure prominently in the plot, which is pretty cool.
The bad guys, the villains, use swarms of locusts in some of their nefarious activities and as their symbol. And so Russ was definitely somebody that I consulted on. Hey, how do you make the locusts do this? And what would they act like this? And, I think one of the weirdest research questions that I ever did for writing was about the swarming pheromones for locusts. Try and look that up. What else we were going to say? I get so nervous talking about it. But, Yotaro asks, who's your publisher? I am my publisher. After much consideration of the pros and cons of traditional publishing and self-publishing or indie publishing, we decided together to do this on our own, to do this self-publishing for lots and lots of reasons, which is a totally different discussion. We don't have to get into the publishing industry. But so we did it ourselves. It is up now. Some of the places are still loading it, but it is available in the links in the description below. The ebook is up on Amazon right now if you prefer ebooks. Ebooks will also be up on other platforms like Google Play and Kobo. I know not all of your people are in the US that are watching these and stuff. So the distributor's just taking a little bit longer for those that will be up. Thank you for all the people saying congratulations. It's not on Audible yet, Sandy. I don't have an audiobook yet. We're hoping to get that done in the future. Audiobooks are kind of expensive to produce. Since we're doing it ourselves, it's kind of expensive. I would actually love for Russ to narrate it. You guys all know really how wonderful his voice is.
And just tell them what we do with books around here.
Read them.
Yeah, but not just that. I mean, out loud.
We've read books together out loud since we were dating. We read to each other. We pick a book, we read it out loud. The two of us. I love it. Russ reads me to sleep when I can't sleep.
And it would just be a lot of fun, and it would be an honor to be able to be the narrator for this book. I think that would be fun.
So somebody else had a question up there. Superheroes and insects, sweet combo. Thank you. I think it was up further.
Up a little bit.
Maybe
Let's
I missed
see if
it.
I can go back.
Let's see.
Characters that are bugs.
Characters that are bugs. The locusts aren't like speaking characters, but they are in the book as an element that the bad guys are using.
Yeah.
So it would be kind of like listening to Bob Ross read a novel. Once Was Lost, 1982. Yes.
Yeah, I think it would be fun. Yeah. And I also, when I read a book, I tend to get into the character. And if the character is like intense, I get intense. If the characters, relax. So the different parts of the book, I tend to like really get into it. So I think it'd be fun to do. Tima would like it. See, she would love a Russ
You would be
audiobook.
really good audiobook reader. So we actually thought we'd have Russ read you the blurb, like the little description of what the book is about, so you can hear it in his voice. And again, the links are in the description. I know there are plenty of people, understandably, who don't want to buy things from Amazon. We have you covered. Bookshop.org. It's up on there, which distributes through and benefits local indie bookstores. So whatever like indie bookstore is close to you, if you order it from that, they'll get a cut of it. So yay, indie bookstores. We love indie bookstores. And again, yeah, more of the ebook distributors will be coming soon. So yeah, you want to read us the blurb?
Yeah, this is not a warmed up read. It's not cold either because I've read all of this, but it's been a while. So let me see if I can do it. Hopefully you're not hearing the airplanes and the cars and everything.
Yeah.
Let me get a drink.
Make
sure my voice is ready because it's been kind of goofy today.
Prep your instrument.
Okay, on the back of the book, the little title thing up at the top, it says, "Bulletproof skin, super strength, painfully shy." And then it goes into the blurb. Willard Meeks, a.k.a. the Tank, Los Angeles' official superhero and former children's librarian, wants someone to love him for who he is, not for his bulletproof skin, not for his larger-than-life public persona carefully curated for him by his manager, Hopper. Finding someone who shares his passion for kid lit, especially picture books, wouldn't hurt either. Grace Kekoa didn't expect much when she joined Blind Date, the no photos allowed dating app, just someone who knew the difference between Beatrix Potter and Harry Potter. What she got was Willard, thoughtful, kind, and passionate about books. He feels like a once-in-a-lifetime match, so why is he reluctant to meet in person? When a doomsday cult threatens to unleash a supernatural monster, Hopper wants Tank's head in the game, not buried in flirty messages. Besides, Hopper's already got the ideal, publicity-friendly match for Tank, a gorgeous fashion designer with media appeal and key intelligence on stopping the bad guys. Now, Tank is caught between saving the city, resisting Hopper's PR-perfect matchmaking, and falling for someone who only knows half of who he is. If he can't figure out how to balance heroics and heart, this might be one story that doesn't get a happy ending. First place winner of the 2025 Olive Woolly Burt Awards for New Voices and 2026 Whitney Award nominee, Tank will steal your heart, then hand it gently back to you, wrapped in hope.
Yay!
So there you go.
Yeah. Intense Russ. Nobody's laughing.
Oh, it's very possible.
Yes, it is.
You've seen me intense, right?
Yes. So that's the back cover blurb to tell you a little bit more about what it's about. There's actually book club questions in the back, or reader questions, so you can have discussions with other people about it, because it goes past just the romance genre. It has something for a lot of people, I think. It
does. Like I said, romance genre doesn't begin to describe this book, and one of the recent reviews said something like, this book will take turns you don't expect. How did it say?
It said this book will take you to places you didn't expect.
Take you to places you didn't expect.
That early reviews are starting to come in. So
Aunt Sandy Skinks followed you on Instagram.
Oh, yay! Thank you. I will let you know when Russ has narrated it.
Daniel W., welcome. Let's see. Yeah, it's going to be fun, I think. I think those of you who want to read it, we're not trying to put any pressure on you or anything, but it's just... Yeah. This is another side of Aquarimax that you haven't seen, and maybe you might be interested. So we wanted to kind of share that with you. And see, there Bud Hunter's liking the voice.
Yeah,
so
I like the voice.
That wasn't too bad for a fairly cold reading with the not warmed up, not ready to go. But I did okay, I think.
I think you did great.
Did fairly well. Yeah. So I wish my voice were a little bit less
scratchy
today.
Did we miss any questions when we started talking about stuff?
We probably did.
Isopod related.
If anybody has questions that I
drop them again, maybe,
that I missed, then let me know. You can put them down in the chat again, because we probably missed something. Let's see.
Sometimes I talk a lot, so.
So yeah, I think it'll be fun, and it's there. It's ready now. Tell us the difference between getting a paperback or an ebook.
Oh, okay. So The links in the description, all three of those places have it in paperback. Amazon has it in ebook right now. Other places will have it in ebook. Since we are self-publishing, I go through a couple different distributors and they all have their own time frame. So the one for ebooks that I'm going through for other than Amazon, it's just taking a few more days. But if you want it in ebook and you don't want it from Amazon, give it a few more days or a week and it should be up on the normal suspects like Kobo and Google Play and, you know, all those big ones. Or the ebook is up on Amazon. Paperback is also available on Amazon. Paperback is available at bookshop.org and at barnesandnoble.com. And in fact, I looked it up a couple other places. I think target.com has it right now too.
Really?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
it's available in
basically
lots of places.
The distributors that you can go through as an indie, they might not have it in the actual bookstore, but you can order it online through them. So if you have a favorite place to get books, you can do that. It is also, if you have a favorite independent local bookstore near you that you want to give more business to, you can go in and request it through them. It is in the catalog that all bookstores order books from.
So they could get it in.
You could give them the title and my name, Kelly Faye Wilson, and they should be able to order it for you. So you can help out your local indie bookstore too.
That's cool.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, Laura is asking a question about info on narrow-headed garter snake, Thamnophis rufipunctatus.
Is that the one with the Gwen likes with the nose?
No, that's a different.
That's
That's that blunt-headed cat snake.
Oh, okay.
But Thamnophis rufipunctatus. I don't know a whole lot about it specifically. I mean, you know, I've kept garter snakes before, but not that species. So I'm afraid I don't have any specific information for you on that one. All right. Let's see.
Did we get everybody's questions?
I don't know. Or is there anybody else who has any questions about anything? Mm-hmm. It can be about isopods. It can be about whatever. Next time we do a live stream, we'll be back to our normal fare.
Regularly scheduled
programming.
I promise we won't throw book stuff at you all the time. We just thought since we were going to have me talk about Aquarimax anyways, and this was coming out this week, it'd
be kind of fun.
Yeah, we thought some of you might be interested.
Yeah, and I gotta tell you something. Mm-hmm. We went to part of the book. This is not a spoiler to tell where some of the book happens. Right?
Oh no! Yes. Oh my gosh, you guys. Okay,
we went to Las Vegas back in May, at the beginning of May, to do some book research, partly as kind of like just a vacation together, just the two of us, mm-hmm. and partly to go out in nature and, you know, flip rocks and look for critters and wildflowers and stuff.
Mm-hmm. And we should say the book starts in LA, but it moves to Las Vegas, and most of the book takes place in Las Vegas.
Right. And so we enjoyed that. We saw it had just rained and the desert was blooming and it was beautiful, and there were tadpoles everywhere and stuff. But also in Las Vegas, in the city, there's this place called Container Park, and there's this giant metal mantis. I'm going to be posting it on Instagram pretty soon. It's like 40 feet long. This giant metal mantis that dances and shoots fire out of its antennae.
And I had looked it up beforehand, and there's a scene in the book that happens there, because how can we not have a scene with a giant 40-foot long mantis statue? So
pretty soon we're going to be doing a collaborative post where I will show you this mantis dancing with flames shooting out of its antennae. This giant metal mantis. It is something to behold. Pretty cool. Was delightful. And it actually shows up in the book. Mm-hmm. So kind of a cool connection there. Yeah. Another insect connections. So Theropod Hunter wants to know, how long would you say it takes to write a full story?
It really depends. It depends because different genres have different lengths that they're looking for too. Like an epic fantasy is going to be longer than something written for 6th graders. You know what I mean? And it depends on your process too. If you are a heavy outliner, you're going to spend more time pre-writing and outlining, and then less time in the actual drafting process, actually getting words down on a page. If you're a total pantser, where you just make it up as you go, you're going to spend a lot more time drafting, but not as much time pre-writing. And then you've got all the edits to go through. So it depends if you mean like how long does it take you to get a first draft, or how long to have a completely finished edited story.
Well, to give us an idea, when you started Tank, like when you first had the idea, I'm going to write this book, until now, when you just barely published it, how long was that process?
I don't remember, because I wrote the first scene after a dream that I had. And then I was working on a different book at the time. So I set that scene aside and I went and finished the other book. And then I went back to this one. I'll have to check my records.
But it's been a couple of years.
It's been a few years because I was looking into different ways of publishing it and stuff. But it didn't take me a few years to write the whole thing, but then we edited it and in and out and stuff. So it depends on your process, but that's a really good question. Yotara says, I've been wanting to publish my story for a long time, but I've never had the money. It's an investment. Like even doing it not on the expensive side, if you're going to do it and get a professional cover, it costs money, and a professional editor costs money. So I feel you. That's part of why it took us so long to publish too.
Yeah. Although, and there are different parts of the process that take longer than you think. Like getting this art and the money it took to get the cover art done. She was
really fast,
and she was quick. But
the thing that messed up the timing is because I had bought a cover package with somebody else, not the person who did this finished cover here, and they were working on it, and I was looking at it, and it was just not.
So we ended up going a different direction.
Good, it wasn't going to work. So I had to find a new cover artist, kind of last minute, and they usually book out like months in advance.
This one turned out really nice.
She was a miracle. She was really excited about the project, so she fit me in. She did an amazing job. Her art is gorgeous. She's been like a cheerleader as well as a cover designer. She was fabulous.
So but it does cost money and take time.
Yeah.
Atypical Girl in Canada, our chain bookstore is called Chapters Indigo. Would they able to bring your book here? Probably, right?
I'm sure
they have that catalog.
Yeah.
If you went into them and say, here's the book, I want this. They could probably do it. And Laura Taylor put a link to the book right in the chat.
Thank you.
And Theropod Hunter's been writing, thinking about a story about the American cheetah. That's so cool.
Atypical Girl, if you want, we can have Russ or anybody else who wants to order it from their bookstore. There's this thing called an ISBN, which is like the number that's on the back of the book. That's its individual book number. And if you have that number, you can absolutely order it anyways. It's also, the ISBN is also listed on the Amazon page. If you scroll down and it has information about the book, the ISBN number, ISBN is there, and you can give that number along with the title and everything to the bookstore, and then they can find it even easier. But yeah, it should be in the Ingram catalog for them to get. Yeah,
and that's where all the bookstores get their stuff.
Yeah.
So Tima says, I've been out harvesting seeds from Blazing Star and other native plants I've rescued. Do you harvest in the fall? Plants were in residential development areas. Oh, that's a good way to get them, because they're, you're not damaging like pristine habitat or anything to do that. So that's a good way to do it. I have experimented with that just a bit. I've been trying to get some showy milkweed going in our yard. We've been trying to get some showy milkweed, but it hasn't taken yet. And I'm not sure what I'm missing. We're trying to make sure you stratify the seeds, which you need to do with showy milkweed, because we really want to get some monarchs going here. We do have a butterfly bush that attracts monarchs in the fall. So this is about the season where it attracts them. But we want to get the milkweed going so they're actually breeding in our yard. And hopefully we could get our yard registered as a designated, what do they call it? Designated monarch sanctuary. I think that's what they call it.
Monarch pit stop.
So we have tried it, haven't had success with that particular plant. I feel like I've done other plants and had them do things, but I can't think of a whole lot right now that I've worked with that way. Maybe I haven't done a whole lot more of that, but the person who lived here before us got some glacier lilies going, which are usually, they live further up in the mountains, but she brought some down, and they come up. They're a native plant that comes up every year here, which is cool. And some others that she did too, I think. So it's fun stuff.
Theropod said they've been planning a story about an American cheetah. I don't know. What's an American cheetah?
My understanding is that they are now extinct.
Oh, but, okay. Like they used to be here,
but
megafauna stuff.
Yeah, but they were a cheetah-like big cat. I don't remember a whole lot about it, but it sounds really cool to me. Yotaro would love to talk to you about this process.
I'm so happy to talk to you about that anytime.
I can put you two in contact, no problem.
There's a ton of resources out there. I'm happy to tell you what I've learned, put you in contact with people, help you find a group.
Yeah. And Yotaro, if you usually have messaged me through Instagram, is that right? Because we've messaged each other before. I think it's Instagram. Maybe it's email. Whatever it has been, you can message me there, and I can put you two in contact about that. So that would be cool.
You can give them my email. I'm fine with that. We can talk. Absolutely.
And Herr Wade looked at the Monarch site last week and is going to register and get some plants going too.
Neat.
And Tima, there are different species of milkweed that are in different areas, and not all of them are ideal for monarchs and whatnot. So it would be interesting to find out. But if you go to the Monarch site, they'll probably tell you what is the correct one in your area. So Zach Rendier, do you have any recommendations on isopod substrate supplies? Well,
probably you have lots.
Laura Philippi, BioLives. Laura Philippi was in the chat earlier, may still be here. BioLives, and Lives is spelled Lyves. BioLives, one word. I've had some really good isopod substrate from BioLives. I got some samples, but I also have gone ahead and bought it multiple times because I really like it. So that is a nice premium substrate option. And the artwork, Sandy Skinks.
Her name is, I don't know if I'm saying it right. We just talked through email. It's YENTHE, Yenta. I'm not sure. Jolie. And we could link to her. Can we put a link to her website in the description? Does that? I don't know how this works on StreamYard, but
I think so.
Or you can find her on Instagram too. But I'll try to put the link in the description because her art's beautiful and she was so fabulous.
And Zach Rendier, flake soil specifically. Laura Philippi, I don't remember if BioLives, if you provide just flake soil specifically, or you only provide it as a component of your isopod substrates. I don't remember, but you do have things like white rot wood, which is comparable nutritionally to flake soil. It's kind of similar in some ways, and things like that. So you could check that out for sure, Zach Rendier. Is Zach Rendier a reference to Myth Rendier? Just wondering. And okay.
I was wondering too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, we're just about out of time, but I want to thank everybody for showing up, and I hope you enjoyed our unusual format today as we did a live stream together. We've done a couple of live streams together, but not very many, and it's fun when we do. And I hope we do some more in the future.
Yeah,
it's always fun.
Thank you for letting me come play.
And next time we'll be back with isopods and that kind of thing. But we'll be back and do some other stuff again. We did the chicken.
We did the chickens before.
We did the rice fish ponds last week.
And in the meantime, if you need something to read.
Yeah, and you got this book. So if you do end up
thank you, Pod Hunter,
reading the book, just let us know what you think. We'd love to hear
Feel free to leave a review on Amazon. That makes a huge difference for authors starting out. Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thank you guys so much. I really appreciate you letting me be here.
And have a good night, and we'll see you next time.